I want to welcome us back to CorelDraw. If you remember so well, in the last class we talked about how to open our CorelDraw on our computer, look at the work environment. We saw the title bar, the menu bars, the standard toolbar, the property bar, the toolbox. I also talked about this color palette here and this other palette which comes up containing the colors you've been working with. Also, in that lesson we saw how we can use some of the tools in the toolbox, like the pick tool. We also looked at the rectangle tool, which we use in drawing rectangles in that last class, as well as the ellipse tool. We also saw how we can add color to our shapes. We added color to our rectangles we drew yesterday. We filled it with color. We also added color to the outline. Excuse me. In that lesson as well, we saw how we can add or remove outline. We saw how we can remove or add outline to our shape. So we are going to continue today, and we're going to start by looking at let me delete this so we can have space to work. We want to look at how we use some other tools, like the polygon tool. Here is the polygon tool. How do we work with it? You click on the polygon tool and you have on the property bar, you have this number of sides of the polygon that you want to create written out there. Now what is written out here is 3, which means I am creating excuse me, which means I am creating a polygon of 3 sides. Now which obviously is a triangle. So if I want to create a polygon of 5 sides, of 6 sides, of 10 sides, I will enter that value here. The moment I enter that value here and draw using my mouse, hold down the left button of the mouse and drag, you will draw the shape. But before I do that, I might also want to decide what the thickness of the line width of my shape should be. So assuming I decide I want a polygon of 5 sides, and I want a line weight of say 2 points. I want a line weight of 2 points, and I want the line to be dotted. So if I say this, say OK, and I click and drag, this is what I am going to have as my shape. So that's my 5-sided polygon, which is a pentagon. That's how to draw it. Just click on your polygon tool, give it the number of sides you want. If I want 7, I've clicked. I can come to the paper or the work environment to click and drag. You see, I can decide to make this line, I want it to be a perfect line, 2 points, and that is what I have. So that's my polygon tool. The other tool I want us to see is our shape tool. This tool here is our shape tool. We use it to reshape figures. We use it to reshape figures. We use it to reshape shapes. For instance, you see this place. They are called nodes. Node. Node. Now, if I click on any node and drag, I'll change the shape of this my polygon. See what I'm doing with this polygon? Look at this. I've changed the shape of my polygon. Whenever you want to pick something, go back to your pick tool. So I'll pick it with my pick tool and put it out here. So let me put a color to it so that we can see what I just did with that polygon. So whenever you want to reshape an object that you draw, you can use your shape tool. If I want to reshape this rectangle, once I click on the shape tool, the nodes will become obvious. So I click on any node and drag. Now for a rectangle, the nodes are usually locked together. The nodes are usually locked. So once I drag one node, every other node will be reshaped alongside. So if I don't want that, I'm pressing Ctrl Z, which means to undo. If I don't want that, I can unlock those nodes here. I think so, such that, no, not there, not there, not there. We'll come back to this. But for a rectangle, once you drag, you see that you are reshaping the rectangle from all the nodes. You see what we've been able to achieve using the reshaping of that rectangle. So I can reshape it back, click on the shape tool, click on the rectangle again, and drag one of the nodes back. I get my rectangle back. Now if I want to just reshape one side of the rectangle, I will need to unlock this. I will need to do something to this rectangle. And what is that thing I need to do to the rectangle? I'll have to right click on the line, on the outline of this rectangle. Let me do that again. I'll right click. When I right click, I'll have this dialog box displayed. Then I'll go and click on convert to curve. The moment I click on convert to curve, this my rectangle has changed its nature, such that if I go to any edge now and drag, you see what is happening. See what is happening. If I go to any edge and drag, I will have something different. Let me do this again so that it will be clearer. I click on the rectangle. I'm drawing a fresh rectangle. The line is broken. That's not what I want. I want the line to be continuous. So the line is now continuous. Remember, I said I have to right click rather on the line and convert to curve. So when I now click on any of these nodes and drag it, I can reshape that particular node. You understand? I can reshape that particular node to become something different from what it was. So depending on the shape I want to achieve, I can manipulate this to give me whatsoever that I want. So that is how to use the shape tool basically for now to do one or two reshaping of tools, or reshaping of shapes rather. Let me see. Now going back to this polygon tool, under the polygon tool, watch, like I told us in the last video, whenever you see a small arrow on a tool, it means that whenever you see a small arrowhead on a tool, it means that there are other useful tools that are inside. So if you click on that arrow, you see this dialog will open to show you other tools. The box will open further to show you other tools. For instance, here now you have star, so I can click and drag to draw my star after I've decided the number of sides I want the star to have. Sorry, I need to clean up this environment a bit. Okay, so I've deleted these ones. I'll click on star, decide the number of sides I want the star to have. I say I just want a 6-sided star. I want the edge not to be too sharp. I'm reducing the value. Maybe let me reduce it to 10. Okay, I just drag. So this is my star, 6-sided with the edge 10, sharpness of 10 at the edge. So that is that. So you can also draw other, like a spiral. This is a spiral. I want the spiral to have regular line, not broken line. You see, let me remove it, keep it somewhere. This is you have common shapes. There are shapes that the system understands. The programmers of CorelDraw just had to put stock common shapes in CorelDraw such that you don't need to bother your head drawing and shaping and reshaping to achieve the shape. So let's see some of those common shapes. When you pick common shapes here, come to the property bar, open this other small arrowhead or click on this small arrowhead. You will see shapes there. Anyone you want to draw, just pick it up and draw. You see that? Pick it up and draw. So you have something like this. Go back again, pick up another shape and draw. You have something like this. We understand that. So there are several other common shapes there. There are several other common shapes there. You know, arrows, flowchart, banner, maybe something like this. If that is what you want to achieve, hold on. If this is what you want to achieve, you draw this. You understand that? So these are some of the common shapes you can work with. The other thing I want to mention is about colors. Generally, there are two most important color modes in CorelDraw. There are two most important color modes. The first one is RGB, which is red, green, blue. And the second one is CMYK. C is for cyan, M is for magenta, Y is for yellow. I can't remember what the K is for at the moment, but those two color modes are very, very important in graphic design. Now, why are they important? Because depending on the platform you're designing for, you choose your color. If you're going to be designing for the screen, if you're designing for anything that will be viewed on the computer, anything that will be viewed on a phone, on television screen, you are going to be using the RGB color mode. But if you're designing for printing, press, whatever that's going to be printed out, it is best advised that you use the CMYK color mode. So how do you choose your color modes? Now, if I want to design for, let's say I'm designing for a screen, which means I need the RGB color mode, and I need a design maybe with a rectangle. Now I've created my rectangle. I have to go to my fill color. I showed us part of this yesterday. Go to my fill color, pick uniform fill, then look at my color mode here. So the major color mode here is RGB. This is where you choose your color mode, RGB. If I want to use the CMK, which is for printing, I'll click on CMK. So that is about color mode. So once I pick on CMK and I pick the color, this becomes a design best suited for printing, because if you use RGB to design and you go take it for printing, the color you are seeing on your design on the screen will be slightly different from what will come out from the printing machine. So that's why it's advised use CMYK for printing. It gives you exactly what you have designed. But if you use RGB, what you are going to get out of the machine will be slightly different from what you actually used in the design, what you are seeing on the screen at the point of design. So that's very, very important that you take note of that. So that's how you use your color. Now, generally, I want to talk about texts. How do you write texts in a design? How do you write text in a design? Now, there are two types of texts that you use in CorelDraw design. The first one is the artistic text, and the second one is the paragraph text. Now the artistic text is just that you pick your text tools, that's the text tool there. You pick your text tool, go to your work environment, and you begin to type. This is a great graphic design training which every beginner should take up. Okay, what I wrote has gone off the workspace, so I'm just dragging it back. Now I've typed. I can decide to increase the font size. How do I increase the font size? You come to pick tool. After typing, you click on the pick tool, and you come to this come back to your property bar, come to this place where you have font size, click on that arrow and choose the font size you want. Alternatively, you can type in the font size. So this becomes the font size of my work. The work is extending beyond the paper area, so I am going to break it up here by tapping. How did I do that? Let me show us again. I tapped on text tool, then inserted my cursor where I want the break to be, and now hit enter. So that takes the text to the next line. So that is how you move from one line when you're typing to another line in CorelDraw. Now, and also that is also how you increase your font size. I've shown you that. Now you can change your font. You can change your font. What do you do? How do you change it? Click on pick tool. Make sure that the text you want the font changed is highlighted. Then go to this place, click on this arrow and this that's down pointing arrow, and your font list will be displayed. So you pick the font you want. As I want to use this font, Bebas. It's one of my favorite fonts for design. I pick Bebas. This becomes the font. If you want to change the font, you go back here, pick any other font that will become the font of your text. So that is just how to change font of your text when you are doing a design. Now this is about artistic what's it called now, artistic text. Now let's talk about paragraph text. Paragraph text is that you click on the text tool, you come to where you want the paragraph text to be, you click and drag. That tells CorelDraw that this is the area within this space is where I want my text to be. It's just like when you want to type things in paragraphs. Maybe you have something lengthy, maybe you have a story you want to narrate, maybe you have a composition you are writing. Excuse me. You have a composition you're writing and you want it to be in a paragraph form. The best way to handle that is to use paragraph text. So I just click inside this place and I start writing. Grace speaks when men think that the game is up. You see God rise on your behalf to finish the battle. You can't verified. Now you see, as I keep typing, once the text gets to this boundary, paragraph boundary, it goes to the next line automatically without me pressing enter to force it into another line. So let's zoom in so that we can see what is there. So this is paragraph text. Now I can make some corrections. I want to correct this. Okay, I also want to correct this. Just click there, backspace. I want to correct this. I want to correct this. That's so here also you can change your font size. You can change your font size. Click and highlight everything. Go to font and say, okay, you want to use Arial? No problem, I'm using Arial. I want the font size to be 14 or 15 or 16. So I make it 16. I've increased the font size. So this is what you can do in paragraph text typing and artistic text typing. So this is you can change the color of your font. You can change the color of the font. Even with this artistic text, you can change the color. Just highlight it and tap here to pick text color. So you see what a beautiful work we've been able to achieve. I will have to delete this rectangle at this point. Now I want to say a few things concerning dealing with text when you are doing your graphic design. As much as possible, you must keep your text readable. Readability is very important. It is graphic design. You're not writing a textbook, you're not writing a storybook. Even if you're going to write a storybook using in a graphic design work, even if you're going to write a story in a graphic design work, it's very important that your work should be readable. It should not be crowded with too many text. It should not be confused. It shouldn't be confusing. Confusing in what sense? Confusing in using too many varied fonts, too many varied font sizes. You know, your work shouldn't be choky. That's what I'm trying to bring out. It shouldn't be choky. You should allow your design to breathe. Graphic design is not really about too many words. No, you are trying to use images. You're trying to lay emphasis on certain things, you know, such that you get the attention of whoever that is reading. That's what, or whoever that is viewing the design. That is what graphic design is all about. It's about getting attention. So once people see your design, within the first 3 seconds rather, you should catch or capture their attention, so that by the time they take another 3 seconds rather to look at the work, they will grab the message there. They shouldn't be looking for important information on your design and they should be searching for it. No, your important messages as we go on, you find out how you can emphasize important messages such that the moment whoever that is looking at your design sees the design, one of the first places where his or her eyes will go will be at the very important message, the very first thing you want to capture the person's attention. That's what the person will see. So that is what graphic design it's all about. So when you're using text in graphic design, don't crowd your design. When you're using text in graphic design, you need to balance colors so that your color will bring out the important facts. You understand me? So that whoever that your audience will easily get what you want them to get from the design. So I've talked about how you increase or reduce font size. I will also want to talk about line spacing. Now when I click on this thing I wrote here that looks like a title there, please, as you work, you save your work. Please regularly save your work. How do you save your work? If you're saving for the first time, go to File and tap on Save As. When you tap on Save As, you give your work a file name. I've given this one a file name since yesterday. I called it training file 1 because I might, work with some other training files. So I just started to call this one training file. You can start to call your own training file as well, or you can give it any other name that suits you best. So that is what you should do as you keep working. So this is when you're saving for the first time. Now if you, as you work, it's expected that you, from time to time, you hold on Control key and press S. Control S. When you press Control S, it means save. So you are saving additional editings you've done, additional updates to your work. You're saving it as you do that. So Control S is the button, rather the command you will use to save. Otherwise, you can go to File and click on Save. See Save here. Save is not highlighted because I have not done any update on my editing. So that's why it's not. But in your own, if you do any editing, recent editing, you have to come and click Save here to save the work. Or remember, you hold Control button and press S. That will save recent editings and updates to your work. Okay, so having said that, I believe we are making progress on this training. I believe we're making progress. If you think we're making progress, please don't fail to subscribe to this my YouTube channel. Give me a thumb up. I need it. It encourages me. Remember, this training is free. I am not charging you anything. The data is my own. The time is my own. The resources is my own. I am not charging you anything. The only thing I need you to do for me is to encourage me by subscribing to this channel and giving me a thumb up. So I will continue. We begin to look at font size. Okay, I've talked about font size. Line spacing is what I want to talk about. So to talk about, for you to increase your line spacing or reduce your line spacing, you click on the text you want to work on. When you click on it, this property section, this area, you see properties. Your property, but if you don't see it there, it will be somewhere here. You click on it, you see when you click on it, it disappears. When I click on it again, it appears. You click on that property area, click on this paragraph. See this button here, paragraph. You click on it. When it opens, you tell it like you want to increase the spacing between the two lines. So as you keep tapping here and observing, you will see that the space between the two lines is increasing. So that is how you increase space between lines of your text in CorelDraw. If you want to reduce it, just tap down the down arrow there, and as you do so, it will reduce. That is how you increase line spacing or you reduce line spacing. Now if you want it to have an alignment, left aligned, you click this. This is left aligned. If you want it to be center aligned, you click this. I click center aligned. If you want it to be right aligned, you click this. If you want it to be justified, full justified, you click this. If you want to be forced justified, you click this. Now usually for titles like this, I want it to be center aligned. So that is how you can increase your line spacing. You can do the same thing here. You can do the same thing here. The paragraph, just click on the paragraph, go to this line spacing here and increase it. You see, as I'm increasing it, the line spacing is increasing. As I reduce it, the line spacing is reducing. So that's how you do it. Now if you want it to have since I'm already talking about text, everything I remember about text, let me talk about it now. If you want it to be indented, you want it to have margin, you don't want it to be on the wall of this it's a margin line, what do? You can increase this. See, this is first line indent. Rather, this is second line indent. I'm saying first line. This second line indent. This is first line indent. Okay. This indenting from the right, everything, pushing everything that way. Excuse me. Okay. I'm trying to experiment this because I've not really used this much. Oh, so that is how you work on your paragraph. That's how you work on your paragraph. I wouldn't know if you have any question. Please, at any point where you have question, just drop your question in the comment section, and be sure that I will reach out to you personally. I'm telling you the truth. I'll reach out to you personally, even if it means doing another video to explain your question further. Be sure that I will do that. There's something I'm trying to see. Okay, now assuming you want to do we call it drop cap. Assuming you want to drop cap, that you want the first letter of the paragraph to be large. You know, maybe you want to drop the cap to like 2 lines. What you do is you highlight there and you say drop cap. See, I've dropped cap. It has dropped cap by 3 lines. So that is what or how you can drop cap. If you remember, newspapers have things like this where the cap is dropped like that. So that is just that. I want to correct something there. Battle. So that is that. Now you might also want to space your letters. Like here now, I want to space my words or my letters. Like this title now, I'll click on this paragraph again. Drop here. See here, I'll click here and it will drop. Then I will increase it. Say as I'm tapping on it, the space between letters. Okay, let me do something so that it will be clearer. Let me retype something here. Okay, excuse me. This will help me show this clearly. Okay, so this is good. Let me make it bold. Okay, now assuming I want the letters to be spaced apart, I will start clicking. I will increase. You see, I've increased it such that they are far apart. I can type the figure as well there and it shows. Now if I want to do word spacing, maybe let me do this. Ctrl Z. Let me retype something here. God is good. Okay. Let me get some good space. God is good. If I want to space the letter, the words, not letters now, words, like God, I want to add this space to God, between God and is, and between is and good. I'll just click on this thing I wrote here and come to this place. This place says word spacing, so I will increase this. As I increase this, the words are becoming far apart. So let me type something. Let me type like 500. Let's see. You see, they are well spaced out. So that is how you space your. That's how you space your words. You understand that? That's how you space your words. So as I want to reduce it, I'll come here as I just want it to be 200% apart, and that becomes that. So that is how you do these things in CorelDraw. Like I will say, I want to know if you have comments, you have observations, you have questions. Drop it in the comment section, and I will take them up when I get back to your when I get back to the training the next time we are meeting. We're going to stop the training here. Remember, I said I am not going to drive you too fast. I'm not going to drive you too hard. By tomorrow and next, we'll start doing small real-time designs. Small real-time design. We've used yesterday and today to more like develop our knowledge of the working environment, or knowledge of some basic foundational things. By tomorrow and next, we'll see how we can start building up small designs in CorelDraw. So please, let's break it up here, and in the next video we continue from there. Thank you for being a part of this. I am still your brother, Fortunate Hunweze. Please don't fail to like my video. Don't fail to follow or subscribe to my channel, and that will be really appreciated. That's the only way I want you to say thank you to me. Thank you very much. Till we meet in the next session, it is bye for now.